The Mid-American Conference finds its West Division champion tonight. As Ball State comes to Northern Illinois, the Cardinals are hoping for a share of the West Division title. Northern Illinois has already clinched that and a bye, but now they're looking for sole possession. They'd love to do nothing more than to knock off one of their conference rivals. It's college basketball from DeKalb, Illinois, and it's all here on ESPN. We welcome you courtside to the Convocation Center. He's David Edelman. I'm Joe Brand. David, we've got two teams that are very similar. So similar, they're only separated by one game in the standings.
Yeah, and this is what coaches and players work hard for all year, to play in meaningful games at the end of the season. I know for Coach Whitford, this would be Ball State's third division championship in 5 years, and it would be the first championship for Coach Mark Montgomery and the first for Northern Illinois since 2005-06.
Ball State won the first matchup between these two teams. That's why the Huskies need to win today. And with everything on the line today, oh yeah, it's also senior night. Noah McCarty, Lacey James, and Eugene German being honored tonight. And what a career it's been for Eugene German.
Yeah, great player. Top 20 scorer in the nation, leading scorer in the MAC Conference, and is also the leading all-time scorer in Northern Illinois. It's senior night for him. I'm sure he'd also like to put a division championship on his resume as well.
He's the hardest worker that head coach Mark Montgomery has seen in over 20 years of coaching. And speaking of coaching, James Whitford of Ball State really likes what he has seen from Ismail El-Amin. He calls him the calm decision maker on the court.
Yeah, Ismail Amin is critical tonight. He scored 22 points in the first game against Northern Illinois to help lead them to victory. And they have a young team. They play 3 freshmen, and they're going to need his, as you said, calm decision-making and leadership along with Tajay Teague tonight.
So along with Ismail El-Amin, here's the supporting cast for the Ball State Cardinals. Tajay Teague just had his senior night on Tuesday, recorded his 11th double-double of the season, and also, how about Luke Bumbelow? He earned a spot in the starting lineup today after scoring 11 points off of the bench in that win against Central Michigan on Tuesday. There's your starting 5 for James Whitford. Now let's take a look over at the NIU Huskies. Mark Montgomery and his team huddle for the final time during the regular season here at the Convocation Center. Darius Bean, who is the sophomore called up to the starting lineup, he's been lighting it up. 8.5 points per game since joining the starting lineup on a regular basis, and then also he's got his three-point shooter of Trendon Hankerson leading the MAC in three-pointers, knocking down 45.8% of them. This can be a lethal offense. I know Mark Montgomery likes his defense, but it can be a lethal offense.
Well, anytime you have a player like German, it's hard to play and stop a team like that. German creates so many opportunities in transition with his speed. He can score in a lot of different ways. But these are two very good defensive teams. And I would expect, similar to the last game that ended 63-59, I would expect a defensive battle. I think for Miami, Ohio, the key is the start of the game. The last game Northern Illinois played, they held Toledo to 17 points in the first half. So the start of this game is critical.
The Huskies have the third best defense in the MAC. Ball State with the best. They've only allowed 62.8 points per game to their opponents. The NIU Huskies in their very Chicago Bulls-like uniforms. And of course, one of the most unique courts in all of college basketball. We're all set to go here at Northern Illinois. The final game of the regular season and the MAC West Division title on the line tonight. Ball State, NIU underway, and the Cardinals win the opening tip. Ball State coming off an 85-68 win over Central Michigan, but the Huskies' last game, Mark Montgomery called it the best game that NIU had played all year long, and it came at the right time. As Teague goes baseline and starts the scoring.
Northern Illinois is going to play mostly man defense tonight, predominantly man. Right there you saw a nice job with their motion offense by Ball State, and they showed great patience, got the ball inside to Teague and got a layup.
It was a 71-50 victory for the Huskies over Toledo. Cardi going down. Here's James, the other senior. Stays with it. No fouls.
Both teams going inside right away at the start.
And Huskies will pick it up.
That was just a little bit too quick of a pass to Teague in that situation. You want to let him get a little more set towards the basket before you probably throw that pass to him.
So my partner David Edelman, a former coach, and you've talked about it, or rather you talked about it before the game, how much emotions play into the game of senior night.
Yeah, for Northern Illinois, it can work either way. You know, I've seen teams come out on senior night and just be gangbusters. I remember one time playing against UIC on a senior night where they had a guards hit 5 threes in the first 3 minutes of the game on a senior night. But you also can have a lot of nerves, you know. But the one thing you know for sure, no senior wants to lose on senior night.
It's interesting because Ball State had their senior night on Tuesday. They won that game. A lot's on the line for them today. Again, they need to win today to get a bye in the MAC tournament. And they have their senior night in the rearview mirror. Now, Northern Illinois already has the bye, and now they can feed off the emotions of senior night. So it almost works in both teams' favor.
So right here is the critical part of the game, defending the ball screens. Northern Illinois did a great job defending the ball screens there and forced a shot very late in the shot clock. Just got to clean the boards up, though, when you switch out. You see Teague. Teague right now is getting another chance to go one-on-one.
El-Amin again. And this time, NIU pulls away with the board. There's Eugene German. He's going to end his career as the NIU leading all-time scorer. Currently one of the top scorers in the entire nation. He leads the MAC. He's 8th in the U.S.
So both teams are going to see a ton of ball screens tonight. When the ball moves side to side, you're going to see that ball screen. So ball screen coverage tonight is going to be critical for both teams.
Was the ball screen, or rather that long shot by German, was that a result of the ball screen?
No, they just kicked it the other side. They started with a ball screen, kicked it, then we got, so it's a 2-guard front of 2 ball screens. German, though, is going to pull up from deep right there. He just got impatient. I'm getting a shot off right now.
Both teams a little bit slow offensively to begin this game. Ball State shot 50% on Tuesday in their win against CMU.
Right now, Ball State's being very patient, which is a good thing to do in a senior night game like this, is come out with patience, not let the home team get that momentum going with too many quick possessions.
Darius Bean with the foul on Coleman. Take another look at that.
Yeah, so right there, like I said, they've done a nice job with patience. They're playing spread out. They're moving the ball side to side. Coach Whitford talks a lot about balance. So he's looking to move that ball side to side and then eventually get that penetration to the hoop.
So here's the redshirt freshman, Jerron Coleman. And he was a redshirt by choice. Coming into the program last year, Coach James Whitford talks about how he gives the players his recommendation. And he says, I think you'll really fit as a redshirt because down the line you're going to be huge for our program. That was the case with Tajay Teague, and they're hoping that's the case with Coleman too.
Well, Coach Whitford's a really experienced coach, been in this business a long time. I've known him for almost 30 years here, and you know, it's great that these players have someone with the amount of wisdom he has. He's coached at the highest levels of basketball, being an assistant at Arizona.
Still no points for NIU, but now a foul on the floor, first for Ball State.
So right now, Ball State's doing a really nice job of sealing off the inside because I know Northern Illinois likes to pound the ball inside. They want to get there, and so far they've had trouble getting it inside.
Everybody getting a touch. Bean can't connect on the mid-range.
Ball State showed 2 different types of ball screen covers there. They stepped out and hedged hard on one of them, and then they kind of played flat on the second one.
Talked about Coleman being the calm presence. He's been running the point. And the Huskies with a steal.
So Ball State is a little bit more of a 3-point shooting team, talking to their coaches. Ball State's definitely going to try and spread you out and hit those 3-point shots. Northern Illinois is not looking as much at the 3-point shot. Certainly they're going to use it, but they do want to get that ball inside. That's another sloppy turnover.
Yeah, another steal for the Huskies, and they're now 0 for 6 on the floor. It has been a little quiet in terms of whistles, though. Mark Montgomery giving a hard time to one of the officials, and Bean with a swat.
Both teams are affected by the interior presence here. You got a lot of big players on both teams.
That'll send us to our first break as Ball State has a 4-0 lead over NIU's. Having a tough time scoring, but not a tough time stopping.
This new Samsung Galaxy on Verizon's 5G network is a big upgrade.
This is Ultra, the new Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G powered by Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband.
5G Ultra Wideband is so much faster than even my home internet.
With ultra-fast speeds.
In the gaming world, if you lag, you're done. With Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband, I don't worry about lag.
Now, buy one of our newest Samsung Galaxy 5G phones and get an S20 Plus on us.
You can download a movie that normally takes 20 minutes in like 20 seconds.
There's 5G, then there's Verizon 5G.
With so many big programs in the state of Indiana, it's tough to secure that local talent, but James Whitford does a very nice job of it. In fact, 5 of his Cardinals currently on the roster come from the Hoosier State.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I've known Coach Whitford. We worked basketball camp together back at Miami, Ohio, which was one of his first jobs. And one of the areas that he always was so good at, he's one of those coaches where you just know he's listening to you. And so I think when you talked about earlier, talking to his players about redshirting, he just has a great way of making you feel like you have a trustworthy guy on your side.
He worked under Sean Miller at Arizona, now in his 7th year in charge of the Cardinals, as David mentioned earlier. He's hoping for Ball State's 3rd West Division title in the last 5 years.
So Northern's been really aggressive on the ball screen. We'll see what adjustments that Ball State is able to make against that. But right now, both teams have been very sloppy in transition, and a lot of forced passes inside they've been struggling with.
El Amin cashes in for 3 after the turnover. Sloppy play, as you said, and now Ball State up by a touchdown and the extra point.
Yeah, and this is the hard part. You know, senior night, team comes out, they're a little tight. You can see in warm-ups that there weren't a lot of smiles on Northern Illinois' face playing in this game. So they just need to get themselves into the flow a little bit. But we know their defense will give them a chance to get back in this game.
German gets crafty, but nothing having it. I agree. Ball State looked so much looser than NIU before this game. And another triple for El Amin.
Yeah, we talked about El Amin before the game, that he was critical, and right off the bat, he's got 6 points.
Mark Montgomery calling the timeout and talking to his star player, Eugene German, saying, where were you on that? Look at this open look.
Yeah, not a great job there by German to get back in the play after he jumped on the shot. He kind of allowed El Amin to get a clean look there. So like I said, I think German right now, not having scored, missed a couple shots, you know, he's got to be able to calm down as well, you know, and help his team be calmer, because he's the senior. This is his big night, and I think the team knows that this is his big night. But like I said, the great thing is sometimes a 10-0 run early in the game is not that big a deal. There's so much time to make that up. And because Northern Illinois plays such great defense, they're going to have their opportunities to get back in the game. But it's also great for Ball State because, like I said, Toledo scored 17 points in the whole first half against them. So at least they got off to the start they want.
It's been a 10-0 run for Ball State as the Huskies are 0 for 8. Now 1 for 9.
It's nice to get the leading three-point shooter in the conference a clean look right off a timeout, isn't it?
Brendan Hankerson came into this game shooting nearly 46% from downtown, and he finally gets NIU on the board.
So here's that motion offense that Ball State runs. They do a really nice job of running this motion. And there's a great back cut.
The ball movement by Ball State. Myron Thomas finishing it off.
That's just great side-to-side movement, and then you get the back cut right there and extra unselfish passing.
So now we found a little bit of flow. McCarty sizing up. And we'll get another foul, this one on Ball State.
I think they called on Northern Illinois.
McCarty can't believe it. Most of the fans can't either.
What?
Montgomery, his face shows it all.
After the clean strip, I think the player gets the strip, and then now you're going to see he's coming back to try and get it. You see how he holds him right there, and that's where the foul was. Good call by the referee.
Yeah, I'd agree. Nice spot. So Ball State already with a few rotations. As we mentioned, Myron Thomas now into the game along with Kenai Akery. Thomas wasting no time connecting on a 3.
Yeah, he's got 5 points in the last game. I think they scored 27 points off the bench. And that's the one advantage you would say Ball State had coming into this game, is they're a little bit more balanced scoring than Northern Illinois.
Yeah, the Cardinals are averaging 24 points off the bench in their last 3 games. McCarty.
I think 23 got off with a little push there. But look at that hustle. Look at that hustle by Acree.
And another hustle by Hankerson. Back and forth we go. The lob. And the putback.
Great extra pass.
Now another timeout called, as we've seen back and forth action. Oh, it's actually an injury timeout. Kenai Acree not looking too great.
Yeah, I didn't see him go down because it's such a great block and play. But that's always scary when a player goes down by the basket stanchion.
We'll take another look at exactly what happened to Acree. Credit the hustle by Hankerson.
Yeah, unfortunately, their legs got tangled up in that situation. And when Acree came down, the knee buckled. So those are always really scary when that happens, because you're just not sure. It's not an injury where, hey, he got run into. He just came down, and then the knee buckled kind of funny. And like I said, it's a really innocent play there. Hankerson's leg just kind of clipped the leg of Acree, who's a freshman, and he couldn't control his body coming down because of that.
NIU had the last bucket on this. Quick thinking.
That's a great interior pass there. We've had one on the other side. Acree made a great interior pass to Thomas, and now we just got one there. Momentum-wise, that also for Northern Illinois kind of got the fans into the game because you get a fast break basket, and then the injury obviously can slow that momentum down. But certainly this would be a big loss for Ball State to lose Acree right now. He was off to a really good start here, and obviously we really hope he's going to be okay.
And a redshirt freshman that only played in 8 games his senior year of high school. He dealt with a leg injury. That was back at Carbondale Community High School, so definitely something you do not want to see, and we hope for a speedy recovery for Kenai Acree as he gets helped off.
Yeah, these are the most fun games to play in. You're now at the end of the season. This is a game for the MAC West Division Championship, and then you're going to go into the MAC Conference Tournament, so it'd be a really bad break, obviously, for Ball State because he's really playing well. Their bench has been playing so well, and he's a big part of that.
We talked about how well the bench has done for Ball State. I mean, Acree's one of those guys that has earned the playing time lately.
So I wonder if Northern Illinois is going to get a little more aggressive on some of these passes. Ball State has been able to kind of hit the free throw line pass and get good ball movement off of that.
Muscling up inside.
Should be goaltending.
I was going to say.
It's going to be goaltending.
Myron Thomas.
So they weren't going to call a foul there because there's really no block out and the player's underneath the basket. But unfortunately, the ball was still in the cylinder, so can't get the basket if that happens.
And I think Thomas was expecting the ball to go the way he was coming towards it. It kind of took a last-second detour.
It's nice when you get jumped that high, isn't it?
I wouldn't know.
You kind of wait for it to make the detour and still get it.
Mateen falls short. Ball State coming away. The Huskies just shooting 17% of the floor now.
They just have not been able to get that ball inside the way they want.
Teague missed everything. And as the Huskies still try to figure out something offensively, they're just 2 for 12 on the floor. Mark Montgomery calling another timeout as his home team down by 10.
B11.
Is that?
Steve Harvey?
Give me B11.
Isn't bingo just an okay use of your hosting abilities?
It's like getting the Samsung Galaxy S25G and not getting it with AT&T, America's best network.
Bingo!
No, you can't have bingo. I just call out 2 numbers. You do this every week.
Get the most from your revolutionary Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. Switch now and get 1 free from AT&T, building 5G on America's best network.
Mark Montgomery wrapping up his second best regular season as the NIU head coach. The only better one came in 2015-2016. The team had 21 wins, but overall, in conference play, this one is better, and he's led quite a job this year.
Yeah, and this is a huge game for him. You know, winning a division championship means a lot. I was talking to Coach Whitford before the game, and he talked about how 3 out of 5 years would mean so much to him. You know he really wants this, and you can see his energy on the bench despite the tough start. You know, they want to make this game a little more rugged, and they just have struggled to get the ball inside the way they want. And the other part of the game I know Ball State was really thought was a big impact in the game was rebounding. And right now they're leading the rebounding, which is huge.
German accelerates and dumps it in. His first 2 points of the day.
Sometimes it's one basket to get you going, you know, and that was a good one right there for him. Boy, he's really explosive getting into the lane.
By no means are the Huskies going easy on this game. They want that West Division title all by themselves. You see them getting physical, but something Mark Montgomery said, he wants to get to 20 wins.
Yeah, of course. 20 wins means a lot in college basketball. I can tell you that as a coach. You hit that 20-win mark, that's a huge accomplishment for you as a coach.
He said Bracken Hazen to the line, redshirt junior out of his home state of Indiana, transferred from Arkansas.
Right now, Ball State's got a better feel for their offense. They're really able to move the ball. You know, now it's an adjustment time. Is Northern Illinois going to get a little more aggressive on the ball? They haven't been as aggressive on the ball as I thought they might be. Pressuring the basketball, passes have been a little bit too easy, and because of that, Ball State's been able to get a lot of good stuff going to the basket.
Cardinals shooting 50% from deep and overall. Again, they shot 50% in their last game from three-point range.
How about that as a defensive assignment for Bumbelow as a freshman? You take on one of the best scorers in the history of the MAC.
Number 2 in red out of Newcastle, Indiana. Cardi hangs it on.
So that's what Northern Illinois is looking for. They're looking to dominate the boards in this game.
Mateen. And the Huskies hang on again.
So that was key to Ball State getting out to the early lead as they were clearing the boards. It's one shot now. If Northern Illinois can do this consistently on the night and get more possessions, because both teams struggle at times offensively. So the more possessions you can get in this game, the better chance you're going to be able to get the points you need to win.
James can't connect. Bean was looking for the board, and this will be a foul on Ball State.
So 3 consecutive offensive rebounds. I'm not sure that's a shot Lacey James is looking to take. We've had now James and Teague both get a little impatient wanting a 3-point shot because it's not easy to get baskets inside. So they went to the outside.
5 offensive boards for NIU overall today. German cutting through. McCarty, another offensive board. Hankerson. And that'll go off the hands of Ball State.
Time of possession right now is skewing to Northern Illinois.
It's almost like the court is slanted a little bit. James Whitford just wants to get it across the timeline. James loads up again. Finally, Ball State comes away with a rebound.
Ball State can keep Northern Illinois from the paint there. It's going to be tough. It's not Northern Illinois' game to shoot threes.
Maller's now into the game. Hazen lost it. And now it's travel. A lot of good disruption coming from NIU's defense.
Yeah, that was a possession. That possession was a little bit uneven there from Ball State. When they've done well is when they've kind of hit that little pass into the free throw line or elbow area and then kind of worked off that and had ball movement. That was the first time they just kind of went right inside, and that didn't work nearly as well for them.
Another thing we haven't seen a lot of today is just offense in transition. German gets stuffed.
Well, when you play good offense, you don't take bad shots. You know, it's not as easy to get out in transition because you don't have those long rebounds that help you get going.
Gene German just 1 for 8. Now a traveling violation. Another turnover. That's the 6th for Ball State.
Yeah, like I said, if if Ball State can get back to running their offense, when they have run their offense, run their motion offense, that's when they've been successful. When they've just kind of tried to freelance it, that's when they've struggled a little bit more.
Ball State hasn't scored in nearly 4 minutes. I don't think they've put up a shot in the last 2.
Yeah, while Northern Illinois has gotten a ton of shots, obviously, from rebounds.
Another miss there, that time by James.
But we did expect a low-scoring game, and right now that's what it's shaping out to be.
El-Amin stopping, popping, dropping.
Nice play right there. Used his body to shield off the defender like he's going towards the left, and then was able to shoot that little half hook with the right hand. And this is one of the things that Ball State's done a great job. Northern Illinois has got to make some adjustment to what they're doing when they come off these ball screens, because Ball State is stepping out on the ball screen, forcing them wide.
An offensive foul on Darius Bean's three-point attempt.
Well, obviously this is going to be the Reggie Miller rule, kicking your leg out. So let's see it. Hopefully we get a replay, but that's what that call is going to be. Reggie Miller was the best at this. James Harden's pretty good at it too.
Need to see how good Darius Bean is at it. Let's see.
Oh, the Stanton's cutting us off.
Great assist by that left rim.
So we'll have no idea ever if that was a good call or not.
Some days applesauce, some days peanut butter. Coleman, and another swat. Nathan Scott putting the hammer down on Coleman.
I'll be interested to see what they come out of with a side out of bounds play. This is where maybe you get another like direct play. Where Ball State, like you said, is struggling offensively is when they're freelancing and just coming off ball screens. Right here, they're back into like that motion offense where they hit the guy there. And that's where I'm saying I like to see if Northern Illinois is going to start to pressure that a little bit more.
Another turnover.
Yeah, it's just a sloppy, casual play.
German gets stopped.
Well, we're going to get the timeout here, but that was a great block. I mean, Ball State has just done such a great job taking out the inside, and German keeps going, but he keeps getting met by 6'6" to 6'8" players that Ball State has.
Huskies trying to end the scoring drought of over 3 minutes after this break.
B11.
Is that?
Steve Harvey?
Give me B11.
Isn't bingo just an okay use of your hosting abilities?
It's like getting the Samsung Galaxy S25G and not getting it with AT&T, America's best network.
Bingo!
No, you can't have bingo. I just call out 2 numbers. You do this every week.
Get the most from your revolutionary Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. Switch now and get 1 free from AT&T, building 5G on America's best network.
Ball State just 4-7 on the road this year. They have supplemented it with a very good home record of 11-4. Wrapping up the season here at Northern Illinois. He's David Edelman. I'm Joe Brand. David, tell the folks at home what you were just saying about Ball State's defense.
So Ball State, Northern Illinois' primary offense is the ball screen, and Ball State is having their big men hedge out hard. And by doing that, Northern Illinois is just dribbling backwards because that big guy is hedging out so hard. And they're not slipping their big man. They're not doing something different to threaten them at the basket with that big man stepping out so far. So they're kind of like, see how 25 is able to get away with going all the way out and defending that. They've got to figure out a way of how they're going to attack that.
Already was quadruple team. Now German.
There's again German. He's met by a lot of size in there. You know, Teague is playing great defense, and Coach Whitford talked to us this the other day about he thinks Teague is the best defensive player in the MAC. He said that he can guard a guard, he can guard a big guy, and you see right now how effective he's been.
So effective that NIU is making just 13% of their shots.
And here they are back in that motion that I say they've done a really nice job out of their motion. Oh, Teague had a great roll there, and now they get the wide open 3.
Hazen for three.
When Ball State runs their motion right now, Northern Illinois is struggling because Northern Illinois is not pressuring up on the ball enough that they can make these passes so quick. And then with the back cuts, that sinks in the defense and opens up that three-point shot.
NIU scoring drought has now reached over 4 minutes.
So that was the first time they did slip. 25 slipped down there, but then he wasn't effective. He wasn't looking to score when he caught it.
Another missed opportunity. The Huskies are now 0 for their last 12 shots on the floor. Here's Teague. Quite the roadblock. Hazen again for three.
Yeah.
Bracken Hazen, cold as ice with two big three-pointers, and Ball State with a hefty lead in this first half.
Yeah, right now the difference in this game is the ability of Ball State to run their offense. And when Ball State runs their offense, they're able to get open shots. Right now Northern Illinois, there's been nothing open outside of Hankerson's three-point shot. I really can't remember another uncontested shot in this game. So Northern Illinois is going to have to figure things out offensively, because defensively, while they're a very good defensive team, I think Ball State's really running their offense well.
Not much points in the paint for either team. Somewhat that's the case for Northern Illinois. 4 of their 7 points, but again, a big deficit right now as Ball State has found the most momentum and rhythm we've seen offensively for either team tonight.
Like I said, the positive thing, you got a couple positives for Northern Illinois. One, you're at home and fans can get you that momentum to get back. 2, there's so much time. You know, if this was 17 points with 13 minutes left in the game, boy, that would be damaging. But there's still plenty of time to get there. And this is the first time off the ball screen they kind of were able to get into the lane and get that three-point shot. So it's the first time they were able to do something. So that's 2 times out of a timeout that Coach Montgomery's been able to get them baskets. So that's good. Hopefully they can build on that.
You mentioned Hankerson having the only clean look, the big three he had earlier in the game. So that's his second.
See, this is the first time I see Northern Illinois pushing up a little bit on defense. So you know for sure Coach got after him in this timeout, but a little bit more aggressive and pressure up.
How about the angle by Elamine?
Yeah, see that happens because you just hit 2 three-point shots. Player on the sideline there was not willing to step in on the help to give up another three-point shot.
Huskies haven't made back-to-back shots all night. Looking for it here. James. Up with the hook and touches just about every part of the rim.
So this is the first time that he was really clean inside there, which has been unusual tonight. Ball State's done a pretty good job of sinking down a little bit, at least threatening that, because there's not a ton of guys that they're worried about shooting. Obviously, German and Hankerson, they're not going to leave off them. So we'll see if they can go back to that.
Teague, around 2 Huskies.
Like I said, just too easy right now for their big man Teague, and all of their big men are able to catch that ball in a great position on the floor to be an offensive threat, whether it's making passes or driving to the basket like that.
Bean back into the game for NIU. German still 1 for 10. And now 2 for 11, but you can count it. And that's really what the Huskies could use.
I mean, right there is the reason why he scored so many points. Number 5, I think, was guarding, so Elamine was guarding him. He's backed off. He's actually letting him kind of shoot that shot, and he still gets through all the way into the lane. And that time, he was just able to make a nice little my son likes to call it jelly move. He calls it the jelly move. You know, he made a little jelly right there. So my son will like that when he listens to the broadcast.
I like that. Wow. What's your son's name?
Sam.
Nice saying, Sam. Is there a peanut butter move? It's jelly?
I don't know. I'll have to ask him that when I get home tonight. So you see they're picking up a little higher here. This is what I like to see if Northern Illinois. See, now they're trying to threaten that pass a little bit more. Be a little more aggressive on there.
Stopped by German, but a whistle blown. I was just going to say that extra pressure they put on, Ball State looked a little less comfortable offensively, but then you have the gamble of leaving somebody open down low like Bumbalo in that case.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Teague made a great pass. But I think that shot right there is what Northern Illinois would give up. I think, they're probably a little frustrated by the foul call. But if you saw Buffalo in that situation, the athleticism of Northern Illinois closed that down pretty quickly. And, I didn't see how much contact was there.
Buffalo, a freshman that is third on this team in three-point shooting. And now he puts Ball State Cardinals up by 14.
So this is similar to the first game these two teams played. Ball State had a very big first half lead, but Northern Illinois in the second half closed it down to 1 point at one point.
Now it's the Cardinals looking to take advantage of a turnover. Swung on out, Thomas, 3.
Is he having a monster game? And I believe it was the sports information director told us that he was really coming along.
Now German
Thomas.
for the home run ball, drops it. First three-pointer for Eugene German as the Huskies and Cardinals go back-to-back. Coleman. Teague the put.
Yeah, the one adjustment at halftime I'd love to see Northern Illinois make it tougher for Teague to catch that ball. I just think that where they're getting that ball into Teague has been the biggest difference in the game.
And that play, Teague didn't even have to catch it. He just had to touch it and put it right back up.
Yeah, but it starts with how deep they're able to start their offense. And they're able to start their offense almost inside the three-point line, and that's what's creating some challenges for Northern Illinois defense.
Huskies have made 4 of their last 4 attempts, but still down by quite a bit. Remaining.
When you build your investments with Principal, you can build so much more.
This is for me, son?
You gonna help me finish this thing or what?
Principal, we can help you plan for that. Start today at Principal.com.
Season ticket renewals for the 2020 Northern Illinois University football season and the Husky Athletic Fund 2020 membership guide are now available online with complete packets expected to hit mailboxes in the next 2 weeks. For 2020, season ticket members have a choice to purchase the 6-game ticket season ticket package, which includes all 6 NIU home games, including the Husky Chi-Town Showdown versus BYU at SeatGeek Stadium in Bridgeview, or to opt out of the BYU game and purchase the 5-game season ticket package for games at Husky Stadium only. For information, please go to NIUHuskies.com or go to HuskyAthleticFund.com. NIU having some trouble finding their offensive rhythm, and David Edelman was actually hitting a football reference in the last time out.
Yeah, I was talking about that Northern Illinois, when they're running their offense, they're 25 to 28 feet from the basket almost at all times running their offense. So German is taking 4 or 5 dribbles to get in the lane, and you see that he's being defended in the lane because there's so much time for them to get back in the help. Whereas Ball State is getting the ball kind of closer to the basket, 18 to 20 feet. So their goal to go for their offense, while the other team's got to go all the way from their own 20 to try and score. And that's kind of the difference.
And NIU, typically a good three-point shooting team, third in the conference coming into this game, but today, not quite the case. 27%. And drop a little bit.
Well, right now they haven't got many clean looks, and they don't shoot as many threes as a lot of the teams in the conference. They're not as a high-volume three-point shooting team. So that's why they want to pound the ball inside, use their inside game to kind of create those open three-point shots.
Lacey James comes in for NIU, as does Zaire Mateen. Cochran, McCarty, Eugene German still on the floor. German now 3 for 13. Had that big three. He's now up to 8 points. Ismail El Amin leading all scorers for Ball State with 10.
So this is a good defensive possession so far. Clock's under 10.
Yeah, there's a look at the field goal percentages, which is hurting NIU all alone. And Thomas with the putback.
Thomas has been absolutely huge in this game. I mean, to come off the bench and give them what he's given them, especially Acree goes down too, so they don't have him. But Thomas is really playing great. He's all over the place, shooting threes on the boards.
There's German. And they call the foul on the floor.
You know, German has taken 13 shots, and only 3 of them are 3. So he's 2 for 10 inside, and every shot has basically been inside that little NIU logo. And he's 2 for 10. I mean, it just tells you how good the interior defense of Ball State is and how challenging it is to score against these guys. You know, there's no small players really on Ball State's team. And they'll take that shot all day long from Lacey Jones. It's the 3rd jumper he's taken. But that's the first offensive putback for Northern Illinois, and they're going to need that. If they're going to come back in this game, they're going to have to really dominate the boards, because I don't know if they're going to be able to score easily without dominating the boards.
Only 6 second chance points total. That was the first 2 for NIU. Down by 16 with about a minute left. Teague. German got the foul, nearly had the basket with it. Ismail El Amin charged with the foul. German's going to go to the line for 3.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's not letting him come down. I don't know if I saw a ton of contact on the arm or anything, but I'm assuming that he invaded his space, and that's what the call was. If we get a replay, we could see exactly where he was on that. That's why he's over talking to the official right now to know exactly, all right, what's his leeway on that as far as going in to contest that shot.
German coming in today, shooting just under 72% from the line.
And that's the James Harden rule. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that's the James Harden, where James Harden kind of knows that you're not allowed to invade his space, so he actually jumps forward a little bit. He'll dribble back to jump forward, kind of creating a situation where you can't contest his shot the way you want to.
But not jumping too forward to where you get called for the Reggie Miller foul.
James Harden gets away with it, or at least he did last year a lot.
Coleman. And it'll go NIU's way with less than 33 seconds left in the first half.
So this could be a huge momentum builder for Northern Illinois. This is a monster possession in this game. If Northern Illinois can get a basket or a 3-point basket here, get to halftime down 11 or 12, they'll feel way better than if it's at this 14 or even worse. So this is a huge possession in the game. And I've seen situations where at the end of a half, you get a basket and it just kind of spurs the team. And, 13 is different than 11. I remember way back, Kobe Bryant hit a 3-point shot against Portland and made it from 16 to 13. And then the Lakers took off and won that game. I think it was the Game 7, too. That's a long time ago. So I've seen where a shot like this could be a huge momentum-changing type shot.
Who do you want to see taking that shot?
Well, you're going to want German to take the shot, but Hankerson's been hot. So if right here German can get himself into that lane and create a shot for Hankerson, or potentially get to the foul line, get a 3-point play, that's kind of what you're looking for here.
Down to single digits. It's German with it, and he'll get fouled.
Also allows you possibly to set something up here. Maybe if he even misses the second foul shot, you get an offensive rebound tip in. So there's lots of things that can happen within this 5 seconds. On the other end, you can miss a shot and foul a guy, and Ball State goes and shoots free throws, and you're down 15. So there's lots of different things that can happen from right here, which is the reason why Coach Whitford's calling timeout, because he doesn't want to see a big change, a big swing in this 5 seconds.
So both coaches thinking plenty of time to pick up a little momentum before heading into the locker rooms. It's been a streaky first half, and a lot of the momentum was held by Ball State. Northern Illinois hardly had any momentum, and until just about recently they've picked things up. But it's timely for NIU to go into the locker room soon, right? Because then they can make their adjustments, at least talk about them, and then put it on paper when they come back out.
Yeah, and the one thing that they found a little bit here is German now is just saying, I'm going. I'm going to go. And that's, as the game goes along, it's always tougher to play with a big lead because, you never want to give up a big lead. So as you're winning possessions, you're trying to be patient. You're trying to be patient on offense. So there's always situations where teams struggle to play with a big lead, which I think happened to Ball State the first time they played them. And when you have a player like German who, like, on every possession can create something, Northern Illinois is far from out of the game. Far from out of this game.
Talking about two different teams, but Northern Illinois' game on Tuesday, they held Toledo to just 17 first half points. They popped up more than twice that to Ball State.
So that's why I said, like, what you'd have right here, a little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure. That's why you could have a crazy swing in this situation. You get a steal, something crazy happens. See right here, he's in a little bit of trouble.
Coleman comes away with it.
But this is what you don't want to. Oh, he didn't get it off.
Couldn't get it up in time.
You know, I noticed there was 5.6 seconds, I thought, and then it knocked down to 3.5 seconds after the timeout. Not sure what happened there, but obviously that was the difference between getting a layup and the clock going out.
So Northern Illinois chops it down to a 13-point deficit heading into the locker rooms. And Coach James Whitford still talking with one of the officials about that final play. Is Ball State on top, but the Huskies going to grab just a little bit of momentum. We'll take a break. A lot of things to break down at halftime. Stay with us. You're on
This new Samsung Galaxy on Verizon's 5G network is a big upgrade.
This is Ultra, the new Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G powered by Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband.
5G Ultra Wideband is so much faster than even my home internet.
With ultra fast speeds.
In the gaming world, if you lag, you're done. With Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband, I don't worry about lag.
Now, buy one of our newest Samsung Galaxy 5G phones and get an S20 Plus on us.
You can download a movie that normally takes 20 minutes in like 20 seconds.
There's 5G, then there's Verizon 5G.
A 6-0 run for NIU to wrap up the first half, but only good for a 12-point deficit for the Huskies. Welcome courtside. We're at halftime here in DeKalb, Illinois. He's David Edelman. I'm Joe Brann. And David, Ball State found their stride thanks to Ishmael El-Amin.
Yeah, those 2 threes at the beginning of the half obviously gave them a little bit of a lead. Their defense of keeping Northern Illinois down, not being able to score in the paint, allowed their offense then to kind of take over for a little bit in the game. They got an incredible contribution from Thomas, who also hit a couple threes. And you just look at the shooting percentages in the first half. Ball State shot 59.1% in the first half, 54.5% from the three-point line, where Northern Illinois shot 23.5%. Obviously, it's going to be hard to win if that happens.
Jake Maller's had a few big shots as well against NIU. The Huskies started off cold. They found a little bit of a stride, then got cold again, and it wasn't until they figured out how to penetrate inside to work their offense.
Yeah, I mean, they need to get into the paint and then, try and be able to kick the ball out. Hankerson's a very good three-point shooter, and he gave them a lift hitting a couple threes, as you see right here. German also hit a three-point shot, and then at the end of the half, German just said, hey, I'm getting to the basket, and found his way to get fouled. Instead of maybe going in there and trying to float in shots, he was looking for contact, and that was a little bit of difference. He made an adjustment. Now Northern Illinois is going to have to make an adjustment offensively and defensively to get back in this game.
It's no surprise that Eugene German is leading this game with 12 points. What is surprising is the style he's done it. He's 3 for 13 in today's game, as David mentioned. Took him a little bit to find that offensive momentum. And then to the other side, the leading scorers, along with Ishmael El-Amin, is also, as you mentioned, Myron Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, and they're balanced. Coach Whitford wants balance. He wants balance on the offensive end for their team. That was one of the things he talked with us about and said was critical to their team. They've been getting great contributions from their bench, and today is another day where they got those contributions. So they got an early lead with their starters, and then you come in with the bench and you extend the lead. That's the best when you're a coach. When you can come in with your bench and they extend the lead, that's what it's all about.
A Western Division title and a bye is a possibility for Ball State. They sure are playing for it. NIU's got one either way. We've got more stuff to break down. Stick with us here on ESPN.
B11.
Is that?
Steve Harvey?
Give me B11.
Isn't bingo just an okay use of your hosting abilities?
It's like getting the Samsung Galaxy S25G and not getting it with AT&T, America's best network.
Bingo!
No, you can't have bingo. I just call out 2 numbers. You do this every week.
Get the most from your revolutionary Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. Switch now and get 1 free from AT&T, building 5G on America's best network.
Ball State on top of NIU as the Cardinals are shooting over 35%. Better than the Huskies on the floor tonight. It's the finale of the regular season. He's David Edelman. I'm Joe Brand. And David, we talked about the adjustments NIU needs to make. They did that towards the end of the first half. Is that enough, and is it sustainable for the next 20 minutes?
Well, German made an adjustment, and the adjustment was give him the ball and get out of his way and do that. But they're going to have to do more than that, obviously, to win this game. I think it starts with the defense. This is one of the top defensive teams in the MAC. They didn't play like that in the first half. I look for them to pick up their aggressiveness. They need to be a little more aggressive. As I said earlier, too easy for Ball State to make passes inside the three-point line, and with their strong back cutting and the ball moving so quickly, Northern Illinois has really struggled to defend that at times, and they've been able either to get some layups or to sink in the defense on those back cuts and hit people for open threes. On the other end of the floor, for Northern Illinois, like I said, they've got to continue to go downhill. They kind of gave the ball to German and just said, okay, let's go downhill. Like I said, early in the game, Ball State was able to push them out. But Ball State didn't do a great job of cleaning up the rebounds. There's 11 offensive rebounds. That also helped Northern Illinois to get those extra possessions. Another area where Northern Illinois was able to get those extra possessions, 10 turnovers by Ball State. So Ball State, while they played a really good first half, they can't count on Northern Illinois necessarily to shoot 23%. So they're going to have to take care of the ball a little bit better as that pressure increases, and they got to make sure that they take care of the boards as well.
As a look at our team stats for the first half, a lot of turnovers. Are you surprised not to see more points off the turnovers for Ball State?
No, because most of the turnovers were kind of sloppy plays that resulted in some travels, so they didn't really get turnovers out of steals. Like I said, their turnovers weren't out of pressure as much as some sloppy, lazy plays, and also sinking back in. So every once in a while you're going to get a steal when you're playing back and a team is trying to threaten inside. They didn't get those kinds of turnovers out of an aggressive defensive mindset, which, talking with Coach Montgomery before the game, he said they were going to be aggressive, especially on ball screens. I just didn't see that this first half.
We've got more to break down. Stay with us here at halftime from DeKalb.
B11.
Is that?
Steve Harvey?
Give me B11.
Isn't bingo just an okay use of your hosting abilities?
It's like getting the Samsung Galaxy S25G and not getting it with AT&T, America's best network.
Bingo!
No, you can't have bingo. I just call out two numbers. You do this every week.
Get the most from your revolutionary Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. Switch now and get one free from AT&T. Building 5G on America's best network.
NIU is excited to host the MAC Wrestling Championships on this coming weekend, March 7th and 8th, right here in the Convocation Center Arena. Single-day passes start at $25, and weekend passes are available for $40. For more information, please go to NIUHuskies.com. Should be a very exciting weekend coming up here in DeKalb. We've got two ranked teams in the conference, Rider and Missouri. And the MAC is the second largest D1 conference in wrestling. So definitely a lot of excitement coming its way to DeKalb. Take another break. We'll have the second half of action coming up next here on ESPN.
B11.
Is that?
Steve Harvey?
Give me B11.
Isn't bingo just an okay use of your hosting abilities?
It's like getting the Samsung Galaxy S25G and not getting it with AT&T, America's best network.
Bingo!
No, you can't have bingo. I just call out two numbers. You do this every week.
Get the most from your revolutionary Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. Switch now and get one free from AT&T. Building 5G on America's best network.
Well, they say the most important thing about show business is timing. And apparently that played a factor towards the end of that first half. Ball State actually lost a few seconds because of a clock malfunction. That's what head coach James Whitford was talking to the officials about. It didn't end up mattering because Ball State didn't make their shot. But like you said, David, had that gone in, that would have been a very big moment.
Absolutely. Coach would have been a little more animated had that been the case.
So we start the second half with teams swapping sides, and Northern Illinois had a 6-0 run to end that first half. And now they start things off with a foul.
You see making 6 out of 11 three-point shots in the first half, what it does. Right there, they got the ball inside of Teague, and nobody went down to help. because they're worried about the three-point shooting. So when you shoot well, you see how that can affect the game all around. Teague was just left completely alone, and like I said, Jones just has not been as physically aggressive as I think he needs to be in this game.
Teague connects on his next shot. There is Kenai Akery, who, I tell you what, that's a great sign. He left the game early in the first half. We were speculating almost the worst. It looked like one of his knees buckled, but it's great to see him back on the bench. Not sure if he's available or not, but he's with his team. That's the important thing.
Anytime there's a non-contact injury, man, it's so good to see a player get back on the court because you always fear for the worst when you see a non-contact injury these days.
And again, he had a history with a leg injury back in high school. So that's where the extra concern comes from. As Lacey James heads back to the bench, and coming in, Tyler Cochran.
Yeah, he's coming out of the game. You know, I think it's only his second foul. So right now, like I said, they need to get just a more aggressive output from him.
It's the third foul for James. As we get a step out of bounds from El Amin.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier. The turnovers that they've had have been kind of weird like that. You know, not turnovers that turn into points, just turnovers that you lose possessions. So as long as Ball State plays great defense, then they can survive that.
How about the difference here? Ball State has committed 10 turnovers, NIU with only 5, but the Cardinals have scored 9 points off of the Huskies' 5 turnovers. As German can't score off of that turnover by Ball State.
One thing I also have loved about what Ball State has done too is sometimes they have changed up their ball screen coverage so that German can't be sure exactly what the ball screen defense is going to look like.
Another foul. This one looks to be on McCarty.
And I think Teague, you look right, that is the first time I've seen like smiles crack. And, right there, his getting an opportunity to go to work down there, and as a senior, he's now smelling another division championship. He's excited, and the goal for all seniors is to play in that NCAA tournament. So the big impact from this game is Ball State moves up into a 3rd seed. That gives them a better chance of making the NCAA tournament. And believe me, the players know that and they feel that, especially a senior like Teague.
If you recognize the name of Teague, you're right. He is related to the 2 NBAers. He's cousins of Jeff and Marcus.
He's a lot bigger than them.
He is. Was it Marcus on the Bulls team back in 2011 on that playoff run?
Yeah, Marcus Teague played for the Bulls. He dropped in the draft. He really dropped in the draft, and the Bulls took him without ever working him out or anything, because they were surprised that he was there. And unfortunately, he just never turned out to be the same player as his brother.
Now we get a foul on Ball State. This one looks to be called on Jerron Coleman.
Ball State foul call number 25.
It's actually on Teague.
Yeah, it's Teague for an illegal screen. But we were talking, I wasn't looking to see what he did on that screen. But overall, Ball State is the first time Ball State's been hit with that for the entire game. Like I said, it's another turnover, but it's a turnover that doesn't lead to points.
NIU is hoping it can lead to points. Bracken Hazen coming back into the game. He'll take over for Teague.
Just outside of German coming from the top and just going downhill, Northern Illinois has not been able to find anything offensively to work. So here comes Lacey James. Maybe he'll come out with a different attitude, a little more aggressive mindset.
There's German with the aggressive mindset. He'll go to the line again.
He is just so fast. And similar, I talked with the assistant coach, Jason Grunkmeyer, before the game for Ball State, and he said one of the most challenging parts of defending German, and probably why he has so many points, is there's no real tendencies. That he goes right, goes left, scores lots of different ways. There's not 1 or 2 ways you can necessarily guard him, which is one of the reasons why I say Ball State's done such a terrific job tonight with changing up their ball screen coverage. Because what do you want to do against somebody who likes to change things up is you change things up.
Is Grunkmeyer the guy you recruited?
He is. and I also recruited an assistant on Northern Illinois staff, Brandon Watkins, who played at St. Joe's for Coach Pingator.
Buffalo lost it. And now the Huskies do, but Hankerson's got it.
Both freshmen looked a little nervous with the ball there. It was kind of the first time that the two of them were kind of the lead players for their team, and they looked a little bit nervous.
Here's Bean. Knocks down the three.
That's a huge three. See, look how he's coming to pick up. Whenever something like that happens, look at Northern Illinois. Everyone's picking up now a little further up the court. That's what you want to see. Are they going to pick up a little harder?
First three-pointer for Bean on his first attempt from downtown.
They missed Mallers right there. Mallers had an open three-point shot potentially. McCarty was a little late getting out there.
El-Amin from way deep. And the Huskies will take it again.
So that's really the first possession in the game where I think Northern Illinois' defense led the charge, where they were forcing the action on the defensive end. And they need to continue to do that right there. And it's also the reason why I think that we talked about Coach Whitford saying that El-Amin's decision-making and kind of calming his team down is so important.
Yeah, that possession just looked different. Ball State did not look comfortable. German.
Wow, great finish.
On the second attempt.
And that was your NBA. That was an adjustment, more like an NBA play on a ball screen where he readjusts on the ball screen so the player Mallers was late.
And now a foul after this play started to rock. NIU within 10 points for the first time in a while. Take another look at Eugene German's craftiness.
So right there, you saw how they came up for the screen. They readjusted, and then German just stayed with the play right there. And like I said, when you have the lead, it's easier to not play as aggressive, and when you're down, to really make that push. So Ball State's going to have to survive this big push right here.
The other thing I like that German did is on the rebound, he didn't go down. He just thought about shooting it as soon as he got the ball.
It'll be interesting to see when they come back in with Thomas, who had such a great first half.
El-Amin. James times it up. Most energy in this building that we've seen tonight.
So now
Hankerson puts it in with the foul.
Northern Illinois doing a great job of moving the ball there. Three guys make ball fakes. Eventually the last ball fake gets that player to the basket. And Ball State's got to call timeout. It's a big run. They're under double digits.
Huskies on a 6-0 run, down by 8. Hankerson to the line when we come back.
B11.
Is that?
Steve Harvey?
Give me B11.
Isn't bingo just an okay use of your hosting abilities?
It's like getting the Samsung Galaxy S25G and not getting it with AT&T, America's best network.
Bingo!
No, you can't have bingo. I just call out two numbers. You do this every week.
Get the most from your revolutionary Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. Switch now and get one free from AT&T, building 5G on America's best network.
Well, I could talk about that right there.
Actually an 8-0 run for the Huskies. After the timeout, Trendon Hankerson finding a little bit of room, and those are our three seniors being honored today. Noah McCarty, he's not one of the former Beatles, Lacey James, and Eugene German, and finally starting to see some adjustments by German.
Yeah, right there we saw an adjustment on what they did with their ball screen. A lot of times what happens when you set a ball screen, you're coming from your same side. In this situation, when James came up, he flipped the other side, which didn't allow for the help defender to get there as quickly. And German is just so fast coming off that screen, they weren't able to recover. And now with a little bit of momentum, the ball moving a little quicker, Hankerson's able to get a big-time three-point play here.
And the Huskies within 7 points for the first time since the early going of this game.
So this is where Acree's actually back in the game here, and he's come in with Thomas and back with Teague. So this is a lineup that had a lot of success in that first half.
Fans wanted it in. And now a foul. Guys getting a little bit tangled up over on the other end of the floor.
So fans wanted there to be a carry there, but his hand's on top of the ball, so that's the right call by the referee. Even though it kind of hesitates for a second, his hand's on top. But then right there, McCarty just holds his ground and eventually draws the foul. That is a totally subjective call by the referee. He makes a decision to when does he think the contact is too much. So you see, they're going to try and change that ball screen coverage.
9-0 run for the Huskies, looking to add on to it. Bean had a big three his last time shooting. Hankerson with another one.
He is stepping up big time right there. Hankerson has hit 3 threes tonight, and he's been the catalyst for this team. And now you can feel the whole Northern Illinois bench really up and ready to go. And now it's a matter of can Ball State continue to run their offense well.
Akery back into the game.
So you see, look at where they were catching the ball now, way out on the floor. Yeah, the field position has changed all of a sudden again.
2 seconds for El Amin. Nothing with it. The Huskies will regroup. 12-0 run for NIU. Hankerson in some trouble. And the Huskies can't save it.
Good job by the official there. At first, I thought he wasn't in great position. It may have missed where that was, but it clearly was over and back. And, these are two good defensive teams, so both teams, they're going to rely on their defense when things get a little crazy. Let's see if Ball State has an out-of-bounds play that can spur on a shot for them.
That's the thing with the inconsistency of scoring we saw in the first half. It wasn't so much the defense, it was just the inability for the offense to get going. Now Hazen goes up hard. And you can count the foul with it.
So I talked about wanting Northern Illinois to pick up their pressure, and there they did pick up their pressure. But like you talked about earlier, it also allowed for him to drive to the basket because they're spread out a little bit more on defense there. Like I said, Lacey James, I think, just has not had a great feel for defending that play. He's just not had a great feel for where to be on that. And give Mallers credit. Coach said he's a winner, right? Coach Whitford said he was a winner on the phone. We just saw a winning play by him right there.
That ended the Huskies' run.
There's no doubt there's a difference between the Huskies bench and Ball State's bench as well. You know, when the Huskies go to their bench, I don't see a real threat out there, where Ball State, we've seen Akery, we've seen Thomas be a big threat for their team.
Mallers.
They've done a really nice job at El Amin this half, though.
Mallers for three. You betcha, with the foul. Ball State has been picking up a lot of momentum, but the foul called on the shot or no?
The foul is called on the rebound. We had a guy thrown down on the rebound, so whatever happens here, somebody ended up on the ground for Ball State. I'm assuming the foul's on 0. So again, Thomas making an impact. Number 0. And Mallers showing why we just talked about him being a winner. Game gets tough. He comes through, 6 straight points, gets them back to double-digit lead. And they get another possession here as well. So that's a huge play in the game.
Maller's a big guy, 6'7", 220. But it was his sophomore year that he was put into that 3-4 role, kind of used as a stretch 4. And you can see him cashing in on opportunities.
Really nice out-of-bounds play there. Man, I love what Thomas is doing today. He's everywhere. This guy is everywhere right now.
He was right in the middle of that pile for the rebound. NIU comes away with it. German. His own rebound again.
That's a play where the coach is not going to be very happy with El Amin. Took off instead of boxing out German there after the shot.
Ball State has now collected a 6-0 run over the last minute. Here's Acree cutting through and dropping in.
So that all starts, though, because of double teaming Thomas. That's what spread out their defense and created that situation because Thomas is playing so well. They came down and doubled him. And you see, the other thing is that they've got both McCarty and they decided to go small here. So they don't have McCarty or Lacey James in, so it's a totally different team right now than the team we're used to.
13 had the separation but couldn't finish.
Again, Thomas there for a rebound. There's no doubt the emergence of him is going to make them a really tough team in the MAC tournament. He's really emerging.
A lot of contact being thrown around. Foul is called on Myron Thomas.
No, it's fouls on Ball State. So
it was Chris
Illinois.
Johnson going on Myron Thomas. They're both number 0.
Right. And usually referees are going to give a little more leeway to the offense because the defense is not supposed to restrict their movement. So we saw Thomas kind of come in and kind of bump Johnson, but usually the referees will let that go a little bit because the offensive player has a right to continue to move. When the defensive player came right back into him, that's where you get the foul call.
1-1 for Thomas.
I think that's the first miss of the night for him and the first thing he's done wrong all night long because he's been awesome.
You're right. He's 4 for 4 from the floor, 2 for 2 from deep. Now reach-in foul. This one will be called on Mallers.
So referees got to start to clean up some of the physical play. This game's ultra competitive, so right now you are going to see the referees make sure that the game doesn't get too physical.
Huskies had a 12-0 run. Ball State now on an 8-0 run. And the Cardinals up by 12 as we go to break from DeKalb.
B11.
Is that?
Steve Harvey?
Give me B11.
Isn't bingo just an okay use of your hosting abilities?
It's like getting the Samsung Galaxy S25G and not getting it with AT&T, America's best network.
Bingo!
No, you can't have bingo. I just call out 2 numbers. You do this every week.
Get the most from your revolutionary Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. Switch now and get 1 free from AT&T, building 5G on America's best network.
Ball State on an 8-0 run before the timeout as the Huskies picked up a little momentum, but the Cardinals have done a great job of limiting it. No, that's not a cape on the superhero Tajay Teague, but he's been playing somewhat like one today, although taking a spot on the bench, but a lot of Cardinals really pulling through. There's already 4 Cardinals in double-digit scoring.
Yeah, and they can rest Teague, which is great as well. They can rest him because coming off the bench with Thomas and Acree and Mallers, they're just big in there. But this is interesting guard play here. They got Bumbelow and Thompson out there, so they don't have El Amin out there or Coleman.
Myron Thomas stays on the floor.
They're a little smaller at the top of their defense.
We had a little malfunction horn there.
Yeah.
The guy on top of the buzzer just put his hands up in the air and said, "My bad."
Yeah, and German's not in the game too, so I guess that's what Coach looked at right here. He looked at an opportunity. Coach Whitford looked at an opportunity without German being in the game to put in some bench guys.
Acree, wow. What a drop. And a play like that is what took him out in the first half. And he comes back not afraid of anything.
Obviously happy for him because when he went down, it didn't feel good, and watching him walk off the floor. So seeing him make an athletic play like that, that he's 100%. He's ready to go, and so that's great for him. Not so great for Northern Illinois, obviously. Like I said, this score was 40-36 about 2 minutes ago, 2 or 3 minutes ago, and just like that, Ball State's got their lead back.
Well, that does make it a 10-0 run. You mentioned it, athletic, acrobatic, and a little bit of a shot put action too. Good hand-eye coordination from Thomas there. Huskies haven't scored in nearly 4 minutes. Great feed inside to James.
So they finally were able to take advantage of Ball State hedging on that ball screen. It's the first time they really took advantage of it and were able to threaten them inside.
Senior Lacey James with now 4 points.
here's where Ball State, again, is kind of back to being able to make whatever pass they want, get in the lane, and look what kind of shot they get.
Maller's had a good look. And just out of the hand of Bean, but last touch came on Acree.
Northern Illinois is really lucky there, and that's why I say whenever they play off and allow Ball State to make clean passes, it almost ends up in an open three. There's James with the roll down, set the screen rolled, and not very good coverage by Ball State. That'll be something that a coach would say was a defensive mistake, and you're going to have a couple defensive mistakes in the game.
So there was a little hesitation picking up the ball by German. I think the officials want to take a look at exactly when he touched the ball, because I think he tried to grab it, didn't have full control, but the clock didn't start. So I'm just going out on a whim. I think that's what happened, and that's why they got to take a look at it. Because again, the Huskies have done this a few times where they just roll the ball down. Now we will get some clarification.
So the referee came over. He's been very friendly. He's given us information now twice.
Yeah, and you questioned him once too.
But came over to let us know that the clock started before the ball was actually put into play. So they're just got to get back to making sure that the clock is at the right time.
Yeah, back on the clock malfunction that ended the first half, the official came over here and talked to us at halftime, and you asked, okay, so you guys made a mistake. And he said, no. He corrected you right away. Like, no, it was a clock malfunction. We were unaware of it until after.
Which is standard operating procedure, because as a coach, whenever you talk to a referee and you say, I think you missed that call, most of the time they say, no, I didn't.
Did you ever get into it with any referees?
I never got a technical in my college or professional coaching career, but I did have a referee after a game want to go after me one time. Yeah.
How come?
When I was coaching the pros.
Remember, keep it PG, but how come?
I let a referee have it a little bit in the pros after a game, and thank you. He was the supervisor of officials for the league as well, and he didn't take kindly to a young guy. I was pretty young then, and he would listen to it from Coach John Starks, but not me.
You're saying you're not young anymore?
You can see that salt and pepper here coming through the TV screen a little bit.
Ball State hangs on to it. Another unbelievable play by Acree.
I mean, outside of Hankerson, obviously they've had a lot of trouble hitting the three-point shot today.
Teague back into the game.
Great patience from Teague right there.
Bumbalo. McCarty.
It's 10 minutes left. You got to chip away, try and get this thing under double digits. When you get to that under 8 timeout, that's kind of your goal as a coach right now.
German can't connect on the long one. And it stays NIU ball. Lacey James was thinking about going after it. He made the right decision by holding back.
And obviously that's a big part of their game, is to let German shoot it and those two big guys go get it. Problem is neither of them have been able to make any putbacks in this game. So they've got no offensive rebound points for the most part. I think McCarty had one in the first half. He got an offensive rebound basket, and German obviously got the offensive rebound basket recently. But other than that, they really haven't been able to take advantage of their rebound advantage on the offensive boards.
Jerron Coleman and Ismail El Amin back on the floor. Here's McCarty with a handoff and another flush by James.
Good job by the referees not to call that. And James now has got a couple dunks. Hopefully that gets him that energy that he needs to finish this game out.
El Amin. Teague. And Acree. Third time is the charm.
Acree obviously gets the finish at the end there, but right there is what you just saw from Teague as why he's one of the best players in the conference. So he catches the basketball there. He waits. The back cut goes. Draws the defense. El Amin gets a wide open three-point shot, as you see there. But then he doesn't give up on the play. He gets the first rebound. I know he didn't clean it up, and he's still fighting. So Acree gets the cleanup, but Teague really was the catalyst on that play.
Lacey James getting a loud round of applause as
right now
that's his 5th foul. He's out for the game, I believe.
It's disappointing, obviously, on senior night for him. Had a great career, at Northern Illinois. Averages 9 rebounds a game. Tough last night, but he had a heck of a matchup tonight, Teague, proving why he's one of the best players in this conference.
Hankerson's had a couple big threes today. Beans had 1. Scott can't connect. McCarty, he'll go to the line. A lot of physicality down low between these two teams.
German's been pretty quiet recently. They haven't gone to him as much with that downhill ball screen. I think some of that came from Hankerson is really the one who was the catalyst of their big run. And so, they need German right now. Hey, look, he's got 9 minutes left in his career playing at Northern Illinois, unless they play, obviously, in some postseason tournament. So it's time for him just to give everything he has, whether you win or lose here. But love to see him these last 9 minutes just try and take it to them as much as possible. He's had an incredible career, and you just want to go out swinging. I think that's the biggest thing I would say about when you're a senior or these situations, you want to go down giving them your best punch, and so this is the time for him to do that.
Again, no matter what, Northern Illinois will have a bye in the MAC tournament. If they lose tonight, they'll have the number 4 seed. Ball State would leapfrog the Huskies into the number 3. The Cardinals would pick up their 3rd MAC West championship in 5 years. And Teague drops down another 3.
Ball State's really just played a marvelous game. I think the big difference is they're running their offense so well. This is a team that could be very dangerous if they can run their offense like this night to night. It'll be tough to beat.
Hankerson can't get the bounce.
And the other element it creates is Northern Illinois is not a great volume 3-point shooting team. They don't have multiple 3-point shooters.
Teague is feeling it, and Ball State up by 20.
Well, right there, Coach Montgomery said that, hey, Ball State's going to shoot the 3, and they've just gotten way too many uncontested 3s in this game.
Tajay Teague with a couple of big 3-pointers. Ball State trying to run away with this one.
B11.
Is that?
Steve Harvey?
Give me B11.
Isn't bingo just an okay use of your hosting abilities?
It's like getting the Samsung Galaxy S25G and not getting it with AT&T, America's best network.
Bingo!
No, you can't have bingo. I just call out 2 numbers. You do this every week.
Get the most from your revolutionary Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. Switch now and get 1 free from AT&T, building 5G on America's best network.
Tajay Teague might be changing his name to Tajay Threeg. He's only had a couple, but they've been big ones, David.
Well, you see right there, there's no one even close to him, and then we get the 3-point salute. You just see right here, like Hankerson right there, I'm not sure who he's going back to, but they obviously gave up too easy of a shot right there. And like I said, Ball State has been able to run their offense too often inside the 3-point line. And by getting their offense inside the 3-point line, that sucks the defense down, and that's what allows those threes to happen.
NIU's head coach Mark Montgomery says the daily goal is keep the opposition shooting under 40% overall, under 30 from the 3-point line. Boy, has Ball State inflated those numbers. The Cardinals nearly shooting 60% from the floor. They're shooting 47 from deep.
Yeah, right there you see, Northern Illinois is struggling. Obviously, McCarty and Lacey have just not had great nights. And then when you come off the bench, so you don't come off the bench with anyone that could really make an impact either. And so right there, German is talking to number 32 about staying in the corner. And that's his relative inexperience as a player, is German's driving in. He knows that if the player comes in help, that's the open shot. But the player, when he sucks in, it makes it impossible for German to do anything.
Huskies down by 20 as we'll go to break once again here from DeKalb.
B11.
Is that?
Steve Harvey?
Give me B11.
Isn't bingo just an okay use of your hosting abilities?
It's like getting the Samsung Galaxy S25G and not getting it with AT&T, America's best network.
Bingo!
No, you can't have bingo. I just call out 2 numbers. You do this every week.
Get the most from your revolutionary Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. Switch now and get 1 free from AT&T. Building 5G on America's best network.
Four of the men in that pile have at least 10 points for Ball State. Leading scorer Tajay Teague, the tallest guy there, number 25. He has 16, picked up a couple of big three-pointers. As Ball State Cardinals are now just 7 minutes and 45 seconds away from sharing the West Division title of the MAC. Mark Montgomery's NIU Huskies have had a lot of trouble offensively today. The Huskies with just 16 points in the second half, and Ball State now on a 20-4 run over the last 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Ball State is really, this game got to 4 points. And Northern Illinois has played so many close games this year that the anticipation was that we were going to be back into a close game. I believe 13 of their last 18 games have been decided by 5 points or less. So a great accomplishment by Ball State to come in here and take a team that really has played everybody tough and kind of dismantle them.
Still a good amount of time left, but it is the largest lead for anyone tonight, 22 points for Northern Illinois. But you're right, because that's something that Mark Montgomery has loved about his team this year, how well they've played in close games. It's a big reason why they've been so successful in conference play. They were 11-6 in games decided by 6 or less points this year.
Yeah, they've decided to go with German on the bench here, so it's an interesting call with this much time left on his senior night. I'm assuming that he is going to come back in the game and get, a great applause. He'll get his great applause, obviously, and appreciation from this crowd. But, right now the problem is Ball State just plays such great interior defense. They have all this size on the floor. El Amin has got good size as a point guard, as a lead guard. You see Coleman, gotta love Coleman. He's only a freshman. And look at that size that you have at the perimeter as well. And then if you beat those two guys, look what's meeting you. Mallers, Acree, and Thomas. And obviously when Teague is in the game, that's 4 just really long, athletic players. And I'm just really impressed with Ball State defensively. And more than anything, for a team that didn't have great eye-popping offensive numbers, they really look good offensively tonight. And I love how they're moving that ball in their motion offense. So this team may be gelling right now at the right time. It'll be a very tough out in that MAC conference tournament. And obviously getting a bye will be huge for them.
I thought you were just using your son's term. The team is gelling, but you said it's a jelly move when a guy makes a cut and drives to the hoop. Well, you brought up number 0, Myron Thomas for Ball State. What a story this guy has had. He transferred from Maryland Eastern Shore, but back in high school in 2017, he was named the Youth of the Year by the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland. He was the president of a leadership group. He would volunteer at the homeless shelter. Just a guy that totally gets it. Serves food, makes beds, and oh, by the way, he was the league player of the year in high school. He was just everywhere and helping out in any moment that he possibly could.
Well, I really liked him 30 seconds ago, and now I love him. What a thrill to have a coach, and believe me, all the players in this team knows what a great guy he is as well. And to see him have that kind of success, that can offer a boost. When your most likable player is playing well, that's great for a team. You see, great pass there. And he's only a sophomore. So we could see him just getting better and better.
Sophomore nearly got pickpocketed, but a foul called on Zaire Mateen. You're right, none of the seniors for NIU out on the floor right now. Again, Lacey James unfortunately fouled out. At the moment, Eugene German has 15 points. Noah McCarty, just a couple, but leading the Huskies with 6 rebounds. And definitely a frustrating day for both those guys. But again, the Huskies will have the bye to begin the MAC tournament. And they will be playing in the second round. And as of right now, if this score holds up, it'll be the number 4 seed.
And they're coming off winning by 21 points. and obviously probably really celebrated getting a share of the division championship. And so maybe they came in this game just with a little less edge. I did feel like they were a little tight before the game started. And this could just sharpen their focus a little bit going into the conference tournament. And hopefully they'll obviously play significantly better than they were able to play here tonight.
Yeah, there's nothing more dangerous than a hungry team either.
When you have a great player like German, you know, you could beat anybody, you know, because he can carry you. And if he's playing really well, believe me, it lifts up the rest of the team.
Eugene German coming back into the game. He takes over from Mateen. Something I wanted to bring up about the bracket, the MAC bracket. So again, the Huskies will get a bye. Odds are Ball State will get a bye too. But if the Huskies go into the tournament as the number 4 seed, the seeds don't reshuffle after the first round. So as the number 4 seed, they would either play the number 5 seed or the number 12 seed. So it doesn't matter who wins those games. The number 4 seed could play a lower seed than the number 1 seed by the second round. I found that kind of interesting, but both the coaches really didn't.
Yeah, and as we saw today, Drake knocked off Northern Iowa. So stuff like that happens where the lowest seeded team wins. You know, and who's to say that the number 12 seed doesn't knock off the number 5 and you kind of get a little gift to get into the, semifinals. And then when you get there, it's anybody's game.
Fergus Dow to Cole, fadeaway, drops it. Cole, the freshman out of Streamwood, Illinois, a guy that did not play basketball until 8th grade. Again, great to see Acree still on the floor.
Yeah, and here's Teague, man. I mean, if you were doing a player of the game tonight, boy, it would not be easy to choose between Thomas and Teague. Both those guys were just so good today. And there was more than that was good in the game. But those two really had special nights, I thought. Yeah, you know, El Amin got off to a tremendous start, got them going. But he's been quiet, and they haven't needed him because they've just done such a great job of controlling the inside.
You mentioned Ishmael El Amin, and you've got a little connection with number 5 for Ball State, don't you?
Yeah, you know, I coached against his dad overseas. We took a kind of an all-star team from the professional league that I was working in, and we played against his father's team. He was playing for Besiktas, Turkey, in Copenhagen, Denmark. So that's where I saw him. And obviously I knew El Amin was a great player, won the national championship at Connecticut. I've never coached in a game where I saw players afraid to dribble. Our team was afraid to dribble. He had at least 8 steals in the game, and beyond the 8 steals, I think he had 20 times where our players were scared to dribble. Like, if you dribbled around him, I just never see anything like that. And, you know, he was kind of like a thicker player. You never saw him as like this super quick, but he was about as quick, as instinctually difficult around the bat. I mean, he was a bulldog, and so I could imagine being raised by him. His son Ishmael's had some tough days, let me tell you, man.
Well,
my son has had it really easy compared to what Ishmael probably had against his dad.
I would say dribbling is pretty important when you play the game of basketball.
Yeah.
But it's funny you bring up him growing up, because that whole thing about him being overseas, I mean, Khalid missed a lot of Ishmael's basketball career growing up, so now Khalid is a coach of a high school. He coaches basketball for actually his alma mater, Minneapolis North, and now he does get to see his son play a lot more and gets to see him. I mean, he's only in his junior year, so we'll get to see him a lot more next year too, so that's great for the El Amin family.
Yeah, and there's Thompson getting into the act with a three-point shot. You know, I know he's got a great story as well.
Here's German. Falls short. And McCarty with a foul.
You know, you remember, I think the score, and they came back in the game, Northern Illinois, after this, but I talked about Teague smiling. You know, at that time in the game, it was early in the second half. And you can sense when a team really feels it. You know, you could sense it. And I could sense Teague felt good. Teague felt good, and he's had an amazing second half. I think he had a good first half, but Thomas was really the star of the first half, and El Amin got them off to a great start. But the second half, Teague was amazing.
Here's the moment of truth for the NIU seniors. Eugene German, Noah McCarty, and again earlier Lacey James being honored by the DeKalb fan base up here at the Convocation Center. Not the result that the Huskies wanted in the regular season finale, but jobs well done by all three of those players, and jobs not done really. I mean, the MAC tournament right around the corner.
Yeah, they got big games and they have a good team, and they're going to come back and they're going to be impactful in that tournament. You know, one thing about senior night, obviously it's disappointing to lose, incredibly disappointing to lose, but you know, it is the one night where you feel love and appreciation as well. So those guys will recover quickly from this, and they'll get ready for the MAC tournament.
They have to. First down out, Mallers. It stays in play. No, it doesn't. NIU will have possession when we come back. Here from DeKalb.
B11.
Is that?
Steve Harvey?
Give me B11.
Isn't bingo just an okay use of your hosting abilities?
It's like getting the Samsung Galaxy S25G and not getting it with AT&T, America's best network.
Bingo!
No, you can't have bingo. I just call out 2 numbers. You do this every week.
Get the most from your revolutionary Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. Switch now and get 1 free from AT&T, building 5G on America's best network.
A bittersweet ending to the regular season for NIU as Ball State started their scoring by Ismail El Amin, who was our player to watch for actually, and then the Huskies just had a whole bunch of trouble finding their offensive rhythm. Not only that, guys like Myron Thomas, who didn't even start this game for Ball State, found their rhythm. In the second half is when NIU picked up a little momentum. Big three from Bean, and then you saw Hankerson getting the and one. Later on, though, guys like Jake Mallers pulling it through. Acree, who came off the bench after being injured in the first half, staying resilient. And then the big haymakers coming from Tajay Teague is what really has separated Ball State in this game.
Yeah, you don't need to go too far into the stats to see what happened. Ball State shot 22 for 40 from the field, 10 of 21 from the three-point line, and 21 of 24 from the free throw line. That's a great recipe for success to shoot that well, especially against a team that was the 3rd best defensive team in the MAC conference.
And as the best defensive team in the MAC of the Ball State Cardinals are now less than 3 minutes away from punching their co-championship of the West Division of the MAC title. This is a big game for the Cardinals, and it's unfortunate that it comes after such sorrowful news. Maury Mannies, who was the voice of the Ball State Cardinals, get this, for 56 years, unfortunately recently passed away at the age of 81. He started calling Cardinal games as a freshman back in the mid-50s. He didn't retire until just about 9 years ago, 2011, 2012. He's in the Ball State Hall of Fame. He called more than 500 football games, over 5,000 college and high school basketball games. He was known for his colorful sweaters and his vibrant broadcasting abilities, but a tough day for the Ball State community after such a promising and exciting game. But unfortunately, the passing of their coveted broadcaster, Maury Mannies, we wish the best of luck going through this troubling time to his friends and family, and as Maury always used to say, good night and good sports.
Yeah, I can tell you how important those people are to a university. I went to school at University of Pittsburgh, and I still have relationships with the guys. And the one thing that they do is they tie together people that have gone to the school for 50 years. You know, I was there for 5 because it took me a long time to finish my education. But, you know, joking aside, you know, they're still there. I come back, and a lot of those guys are still there. Bill Hillgrove at the University of Pittsburgh, who also does the Steelers games, and they mean a lot to the university.
That's a good point because, I mean, coaches come and go. We all know players come and go, but a lot of times the one consistency is coming from the broadcast booth.
And they bring everybody back together. You know, they're the voice of the reunion.
Ball State will sweep this series against NIU this year, as Cole will go to the line. But again, it'll be a co-West Division championship for the Huskies and the Ball State Cardinals. It'll be number 3 and number 4 seed. And a MAC tournament that will start in Cleveland for the second round. The first round will be at the home sites of the higher-seeded teams.
Well, like I said, I've known Coach Whitford for many years, and it's great to see. I talked to him before the game, and he said, you know, if we were to win today, and we have three years out of 5 to win the division championship, he said that would mean a lot to me, and I'm happy for him. Obviously, Coach Montgomery has had a great season. And he's got a ton to be proud of for how his team has performed this year. Has done a great job with this group. You know, watching them tonight, obviously, this is the first time I've seen them play. I know that they've performed way better than what they put out there tonight. And I know these coaches have done a great job getting them there. There's the jelly.
There you go, Sam Edelman. Our third jelly reference of the game. Yeah, so NIU will finish the regular season with 18 wins, but hey, who's to say that they can't get 20 wins or even maybe have the most winningest year for Mark Montgomery? You never know in the month of March. Things just tend to happen.
And you just never know what a game. When you look at the records here, they're going to be 18-13, 18. They're both going to be 18-13 and 11-7. You would expect, what, a one-point game. And the last 2 years here has been decided by 1 point. The games between these two teams decided by 1 point the last 2 years here. So this was kind of really a shock to the system for everybody. There's Coach. Look, he's still coaching right now. Still coaching his team, trying to help these guys, help his, guys that don't play very much. But then he gets a foul anyway.
Yeah, that's Ben Hendricks committing the foul, and that's funny because this guy's from Canada, number 34 in red for Ball State, and he used to play a lot of hockey, but he stopped because he was so big. He would hit people from the top down, and so he would get called with penalties. They would hit him in the knees. So he's like, I got to stop playing this. I got to play basketball. Now he's on the floor. I'm
sure after he put some person through the glass, right? He probably put someone shattered through the glass. Said, this is it for me.
That was Blake Huggins with the rebound.
That's going to do it.
And Ball State.
Congrats to Ball State.
Ball State and NIU, co-West Division champions of the Mid-American Conference. Ball State sweeps the series against the Huskies of 2019-2020. The Cardinals are the number 3 seed in the MAC Conference tournament. The Huskies, number 4. Both teams will have a bye. Both teams will play on March 12th in Cleveland at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. But that puts a bow on the regular season here at the Convocation Center, and a fantastic season for Mark Montgomery.
Absolutely, and congratulations to both teams sharing a championship. Obviously tonight was Ball State's night. Good luck to them. You know, I really love Ball State's size. Their defense, if they can force teams to shoot the ball from the perimeter and not allow teams to attack them inside, and they can run their offense like that, they're going to be dangerous. Obviously, Northern Illinois has a great interior presence as well, and a player that is dynamic and can carry their team all the way into the NCAA tournament.
So as we wrap up the broadcast and really the basketball season here at the Convocation Center, we want to thank some very important people here at NIU who work behind the scenes on NIU basketball all season long, starting with the ESPN broadcast produced by NIU Husky Vision crew and staff. You guys do a phenomenal job. We'd also like to thank Associate Athletic Director and Executive Producer Donna Turner, NIU Athletic Director Sean T. Fraser, as well as Senior Associate Athletic Director John Cheney. Special thank you to the Director of Communications, Jeremy Reed, and Mike Hasse, Department of Information Technology Director and CIO Matthew Parks, and Director of IMT Brian Thompson. For everyone that I mentioned, everyone involved all year long, every broadcaster that has come here to the Convocation Center. And for David Edelman, I'm Joe Brand, saying so long from the NIU Convocation Center. Again, the final score, Ball State beats NIU 75-54. Don't forget, all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.